the Dice Tower!
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
Yeah!
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Folks, welcome back. Here we are. We're going to finish up the first half of the top 100 games of all time, and we have a lot of games to look through. So 10 more games and 10 more ties. Incidentally, my first 2 ties that I'm going to wear today are a gift for one of the watchers, Mike. Mike, thank you very much for these ties. Pretty cool.
Number 60, Warlord.
My first game is Warlords, the CCG. Now, I didn't actually expect to really like Warlords the first time I got it. I got a couple packs of it, I played it, I looked at it and said, oh, another CCG, because CCGs are often very similar. There's some kind of clone of Magic the Gathering. Warlords, the CCG, is not a clone of Magic the Gathering. Instead, it's all about killing the opponent's warlord, and you have to like fight through the front ranks to be able to get to the warlord who is in the back of the group, and you might be forced to come to the front. It has a neat pyramid scheme where you have a bunch of smaller characters and they get stronger and stronger. You can bring in really powerful people, but you need to have a nice kind of pyramid set up for that to be able to happen. It's some neat mechanics. The factions have some very different feels to them, lots of special abilities, and you get to roll dice in it, something I like very much so. For me, this game beats Magic the Gathering all over the place, and it has the concept that you'll find is a theme that I very much like, that of killing the opponent's leader. In this case, killing the opponent's warlord. There's a couple other games that I like even better than Warlords, and we'll talk about them soon. But for now, this one was an easy one to add to my list, Warlords, the CCG.
Number 59, Dice Town.
I play a lot of games, and sometimes someone will come up to me and go, remember we played this game of whatchamacall? And I may or may not remember. It depends on how memorable the gaming experience was. Well, the first time I played Dice Town, I can still remember that game because I could not believe that this game was as much fun as it was at that point in time. Just throwing dice, rolling dice, trying to get poker combinations, and just having a good time as you outplayed each other. Then the expansion came out, and this game went even higher because there was even more chances of you not getting squeezed out on a turn, but what would you get? Dice Town is a very entertaining game. It can go up to 5 players, 6 with the expansion, although, you know what? It's not a bad 4-player game. Although 5 or 6 isn't horrible, but it seems to shine best with 4, maybe 5, just because it goes a little bit faster. But it is very entertaining. Has a Western flair to it. Has some really nice components and a lot going on, although it's very simple. What am I going to keep? Well, I keep the best poker hand. I got a bunch of queens. Well, I keep the queens so I can steal cards from somebody else. And there's always something going on and tons of interaction. It can be kind of like a party game. In fact, I'm kind of surprised it's not on the People's Choice list because I get that much of a kick out of it. If you've not played this before, realize that it's a fairly light game, but it's one that has so much interaction and fun trash talking with one another that I think you'll get a kick out of it. I do anyway. Dice Town.
Number 58, Alien Frontiers.
Aliens and Alien Frontiers, which had a pretty big jump. Last year it was number 93 for me, and then I heard about the expansion, so I started playing this again, and it moved back up to 53. Here's the deal, folks. I made this top 100 list before I played the Factions expansion and the Upgrade expansion. Had I played those since, this game would be even higher on my list, and I think next year I will not be surprised to see it going higher. Alien Frontiers is a game in which you're taking dice that it becomes spaceships that you put on the board, and you put them in different spots to control different regions, which lets you do different things. You add the factions in, and each person has a special ability that they can do. And your goal is to get the most victory points by establishing colonies on Mars or on this alien planet. I guess I don't know if it's Mars, it's some alien planet. But it's just a neat idea. Each turn you have to decide how best to use your dice. You roll your dice, look at the numbers you rolled, and determine the best way to use those. What kind of upgrades, what things will you do to other players? There's certainly cards that let you go after other players. There's a lot going on in a beautiful production. We talk a lot about Kickstarter. Folks, this was the board game that made us realize that Kickstarter is possible, and really not one Kickstarter game that has been produced since has really shown the way Alien Frontiers has. Now I'm hoping that the one coming up in a few weeks, which is being produced by the same people who made this one, is somewhat as good, but we'll see. I digress. Alien Frontiers is a fantastic game. If you've not played it before, certainly go out and try it. It is amazing. 57.
Number 57, Kingsburg.
Kingsburg. Burger King. No, it doesn't work. Okay, now Kingsburg I have ranked higher than Alien Frontiers because they are similar games in which you're putting dice on the board. You roll dice and use those dice to get different things. Now, actually, I think Alien Frontiers is a little better than Kingsburg, and I just said why, because of the new expansion. But Kingsburg used to be lower than Alien Frontiers, and then they added the Kingsburg expansion, and whoosh, to the top of the list that one went, because that added variety, which I thought was really neat. Kingsburg is a great game with fantastic artwork, and you guys obviously like Kingsburg because it's on your top 100 list also, and in fact a little bit higher than me, and well, so is Alien Frontiers, go figure. But this one is just an amazing package. When it first came out, it was like, wow, you roll dice and you're not using those to move pieces, you're not using them to attack, instead you're using the numbers that you roll to put things on the board. That was a really cool concept, and it still is a cool concept, and it's really played out flawlessly here. There's not a lot else going on. You roll the dice, you put them out, you get resources, you build stuff, and then someone attacks, and then you roll the dice, and you keep doing that. Very simple, very easy, and I think this one is worthy of all the praise that it has gotten. Kingsburg.
Number 56, Heart and Grounds, Robin Hood.
For years I liked Heart and their Gruns, and then I got rid of it recently because they came out with pretty much the exact same game in a smaller box, Robin Hood. Now I actually liked the Heart and their Gruns better, that version, which was across the border or something is what it means. This one here I just kept because while there are some differences in this one and the production values aren't as fantastic, they did make this one a little bit more streamlined. And again, like I said, they're essentially the same game. In this one, you're basically trying to sneak stuff. In the first one, by the border guard, here by the sheriff, and you have to tell him what you have. And you could be lying your teeth off, or you could be telling the truth. And the sheriff has to pick one person who he thinks is lying to him that turn and check their stuff. Make the spot checks. You know, this would be a very interesting re-themed, you know, the TSA. Does it work? So anyhow, if you've not played this, it is super fun because you're sitting there and you can role play it up, and whether you're playing Robin Hood or the border crossing one, you know, and oh, good sheriff, you know, I swear, all I have, I don't have anything illegal, I promise. Do these eyes lie? Would they lie? Could I lie? Look at you. It's impossible. And things like that will go on the whole game, bribing, really funny stuff. It's a very unique game. I've not played another game like it, so Robin Hood, one I enjoy.
Number 55, Vegas Showdown.
Now, the day I'm recording this, Vegas Showdown, which I'm talking about, is actually available now as a reprint. Now, I can't really tell what's in the reprint. From what I've heard so far, it looks like they've taken the components of this game and put them in a nice new box. Well, yay for the new box. And boo to Hasbro for seriously not upgrading the components for this game when they could, because the components of this game are not that fantastic, but the game itself is super fun because what you're doing is you're building your own casino. And if you like building stuff. Who cares whether it's a casino or what have you, and you're adding restaurants and slot machines and different things. You're building it over the course of the game through a very fun auction where you simply pick a price higher than somebody else who's bid on something. You can pick whichever, there's different rooms to bid on, and then once you have these, you pay and you put them in your casino, and you're trying to build a balanced casino that brings in money and also that will get you points at the end of the game, or fame. Very entertaining, very interesting. Each game plays out differently because the buildings come up in different orders, and it's also a game I think that works really well with multiple different players as opposed to one set number being the best. What does the box say on here? For 3 to 5 players, and I think it plays just as well with 3, 4, or 5 players. So Vegas Showdown, build your own casino. There's no actual gambling in the game. It's all about building this stuff, but that's a lot of fun in and of itself. It looks really cool. Just why couldn't you have done a nicer upgrade, Hasbro?
Number 54, Arkham Horror.
Now I have a lot for this game. I have this plastic case and another plastic case, and this box, which is filled with boards and big giant cards, but mostly boards. And then I have this box, which is literally, I'm afraid to spill it. That is all cards, okay? Of over 1,000 cards in this game from all the expansions. Arkham Horror actually has an expansion to its expansions. Ridiculi. But it's fun, and it's on my list. Now, I hate horror movies. I especially hate horror movies that are bloody and gory. Horror movies that are spooky scare the snot out of me. It's October right now, and I won't go to a haunted house. I so desperately want to, but I know that if I do, I will scream like a little girl. So why would I like a game like Arkham Horror? Because Arkham Horror is spooky, but it's not actually scary. But it's neat spooky. The cards are so well written. There's so much storyline going on in here. And because there's so many cards and so many different things happening, every game that I've ever played of Arkham Horror feels very different. Now, don't play with the maximum number of people. I think you can go up to 8. That's just, again, that's also ridiculi. You want to play with a smaller group, 3 or 4 people. But there's a lot of neat things that can go on. You can add different expansions in and really change up the game. Now, is it probably expansion crazy? Yes. Are they done making expansions? I'm going to guess yes also, because they seem to be on the Mansions of Madness kick, which is kind of a spin-off of this. But this was a great game, is a great game, still one of the most popular games that people have played. Every time I go to a convention, I see somebody playing this somewhere. And while I don't get to play it as often as I want to due to its time length, it tells a story like no other cooperative game.
Number 53, Galaxy Trucker.
Galaxy Trucker is it's such a brutal game, but it's brutal in a funny way. You know how if you were walking down a street and a horror movie music was screeching and I dropped an anvil on your head and it crushed your skull and killed you, you would be horrified. That'd be a terrible thing. But if Wile E. Coyote does it to himself, eventually, what do? We all laugh. That's what this is. The idea of spaceships getting blown up by asteroids and ships would be exciting or entertaining or scary depending on what you're watching, but this does it in a cartoony way. See, each turn of the game, you are building a spaceship with all different pieces that you have. And then once you're done with these spaceships, which you build as fast as you can because everybody has the same pieces to pick from, you then fly your spaceship through asteroid fields and pirates and all sorts of bad things. And if you add this expansion, and apparently another expansion just came out today, even worse things can happen to your spaceship. And it's funny. I mean, yeah, you're trying to win, I suppose. Although, to me, if half my spaceship explodes and astronauts are flying around everywhere and different things happen, it just makes you laugh. And it can be a really, for some people, frustrating because of the real-time aspect. For most people, well, actually for the people that I would play games with, this is a game that we like very much.
Number 52, Race for the Galaxy.
Now, if you've watched Race for the Galaxy over the years as I've put it on my list, I don't remember which year it came on the list, but it came into the top 10. And as time goes by, it's dropped down. This year it dropped from 30 to 52. Now, once again, not a big deal. To be in the top 52 of all my games is really big for me. It's a game that I like. It's a game that I will enjoy. But as time goes by, it's becoming more and more limiting to me because I found that Race for the Galaxy has a very steep learning curve. And so it's one that I don't find myself introducing new people to. Instead, I'd rather introduce them to something simple, like a simple deck building game, or something that's easier that then has complexity in that game that we can build upon. Race for the Galaxy starts out complicated. Not a problem, I say, because at its best, if I can find somebody who also likes the game a lot, we can really go after each other and really have a good game. I mean, it is a game that I've grown better at as I played it, although I'm sure that if I played people who were really good at it, I've seen people write long articles. If you get this is the first 3 cards you should play. If you pull them, if not, and I can't do that, I suppose. But it has a nice theme, beautiful artwork, marred a little bit by the complexity of the icons. And I know for every time I say that, someone's going to put comments, they are not complicated at all. Yes, guys, for most people, they are. Okay? Maybe not for you, but for most people, it's a confusing mess of symbols. And that's fine. Once you know what they're doing, it's fun and exciting. The expansions haven't really got me that pumped about this game, and the newest one's coming out, I guess, today or so. And it's always interesting to see this and play it and have fun. I just wonder if it will be in my top 100 forever. But for now it is, because it is a great space card playing game.
Number 51, Hollywood Blaster.
Make your own movie with Fabrik der Traum or Traumfabrik or Hollywood Blockbuster. It's had many names. Unfortunately, it's never been able to be in the best setup that it could be, mostly because to put real people in here would require a lot of rights that companies aren't eager to go to. The original game had movie stars from the 20s and 30s, which is great, you know, except most people don't know who almost any of them are. So I've pasted mine up with modern movie actors and movies, although I guess they're no longer modern since it's about 10 years old now. But still, it's a Knizia game with theme. I mean, that's pretty cool in of itself, but it also has some pretty cool mechanics. I like the fact in this game, when you win an auction, what you do with your winning bid is you split it between everybody else. And so if you don't win any auctions, you're eventually going to, because you're going to have a lot of money. And so that's a fun mechanic in the game. And then as you're trying to make the best movies in different types, or the best movie overall, or, and I like how the game does this, to make the biggest bomb. You know, to make the Uwe Boe, the game based on a video game or something, you know. So it's very funny. I mean, especially in my game where you have Quentin Tarantino directing Bambi, Alfred Hitchcock directing Jurassic Park. Different things can happen in these, and that's a lot of fun. So that one is my number 51. And that, folks, means we're halfway. So lots of fun. I'm glad we're doing these very quickly now. Again, remember, if you like these, you can check out my daughter Melody's Top 100 and the People's Choice Top 100. Lots of great games coming up. Oh, also, Mr. Jeff Bly, happy birthday. A big happy birthday from everybody at the Dice Tower. From us to you, congratulations on turning 30, and now start making plans to come to Dice Tower Convention. Okay, folks, lots of things coming up. Essen's going on right now with lots of great games, so you're probably watching those videos and not my own. But even though you're doing that, I will be back in a few days with 50 to 41. I mean, the games only get better. Isn't that exciting? I think so.
Say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.